going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the Record Spinner. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing 5 of my favorite album covers. As great as the music on an album can be, what really sells it to the eyes before the ears is a great album cover. The artwork also plays into the enjoyment of vinyl as a tangible object to where you can observe the smallest details, read the lyrics and liner notes, and while it's almost been overstated, immerse yourself in the listening experience. Album covers do stand out as pure art in their own right, and there are plenty of striking examples, and this video shines a light on some of my personal favorites. So enough of the chit chat, let's jump into what this video is all about. First up, I gotta mention my favorite band of all time, and of course, it's Destroyer by Kiss. This cover was designed by Ken Kelly, and it depicts the band trampling over rubble in a post-apocalyptic setting with buildings on fire. I see this cover as the genesis of what would evolve into the band being depicted as comic book heroes. But one interesting thing to note is that what became the final cover is a second attempt because the label felt that the original cover was deemed too violent looking. I think the desired effect can be seen between both attempts, but most notably, Ken executed the same concept except the band was wearing their Alive outfits, and since they were entering a new album cycle, there were fresh outfits that didn't go public yet, so he basically remade it with the new outfits, and that original version was used for the cover of Destroyer Resurrected. This cover is absolutely iconic, and it becomes ingrained in your consciousness upon looking at it. I don't know if that's coming from my biased viewpoint, but it certainly feels that way. Next up is Lizard by King Crimson. This cover was designed by Ginny Barris, who was commissioned to design it by Crimson's lyricist Peter Sinfield. It has a distinctively medieval flavor to it with the choice of lettering for Crimson's name and the influence of European illuminated manuscripts. Inside the letters are various discrete images that represent Sinfield's lyrics within the album, which was what Barris went off of when it came to designing the album before she even heard a note. The ones found in King reference the subsections of the epic title track Lizard with references to Prince Rupert's Tears, Visions of Peacocks, and Skirmishes. The ones found in Crimson allude to the tracks on the first side of the album, such as Circus. The song Happy Family is about the Beatles, so you can see Paul, John, Yoko, and Ringo here, Lady of the Dancing Water, and so on. Given how Sinfield's lyrics on this album are very colorful and rich in vocabulary, and the music itself is in the more avant-garde jazz vein, it's a wild record to wrap around, and the intricacy of the artwork makes it more fun to delve into. Next up is Sabbath Bloody Sabbath by Black Sabbath. This cover was designed by Drew Struzan, who is perhaps best known for designing movie posters for Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Blade Runner, to name a few. The front cover is a rather hellish sight with a guy in a nightmarish trance being tormented by demons and rats in bed with a 666 headboard. And the back cover is the total opposite, with a man dying in bed surrounded by loved ones and sleeping lions. What I love about this artwork is the use of contrast between both themes and color. You have the darker, more sinister overtones on the front with uses of black and red, and then the more calm and peaceful aspects of the back with uses of white and blue. Very much a classic trope of good versus evil. And just to add another cool element to the artwork, the gatefold has a cool shot of the band where they look transparent and adds a cool ghostly quality to the gatefold design. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is one of Sabbath's more musically mature records that offers a good bit of variety between Iommi's solid riffs and some more melodic moments added to their palette, and coupled with some wicked cool imagery, it's an all-around perfect package. Next up is The Miracle by Queen. This cover was designed by Richard Gray and utilizes chroma keying and the Quantel Paint Box workstation to take 4 separate photos of the band members' faces and morph them into one to create this sort of alien-like humanoid as the cover. This concept is very much in line with the band's ideology of doing away with the individual writing credits of their work and presenting it simply as written by Queen. A cover like this can be made up in no time due to the modern day advantages of Photoshop, but at the time, cutting-edge photo manipulation technology was used to pull this cover off. Outside of the singles, which are solid, The Miracle as an album is a little uneven, but the cover certainly makes up for it. Last but not least is Road to Ruin by the Ramones. This cover was designed by John Holstrom, who was most known for designing the covers for Punk magazine, and his artwork appears on the back cover of Rocket to Russia. The original cover concept was designed by Ramones fan Gus McDonald, and the band dug the design enough to use it for their next album cover, but there had to be a modification since the artwork featured Tommy behind the drum kit and Marky was just brought into the band. So John Holstrom was commissioned to revise the cover, and with the exception of Marky now being featured and the lobster and snake removed from the amps, the original concept stays very true to the final product. This is an album cover that I remember seeing all the time as a kid in my dad's record collection, and I think it was Hallstrom's cartoonish imagery that drew me in, but seeing these guys in their uniform of ripped jeans and leather jackets was so staggering compared to some of the other bands that I was subjected to at the time. And Road to Ruin is my favorite record by the Ramones, so how fitting that the cover also reigns as one of my favorites. So there you guys go. Those are 5 of my favorite album covers. I could certainly rattle off a few more notable picks, and if you guys want to see a follow-up video, shoot me a comment down below. I'd love to know. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the records spinning.